Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery. 22 veterans a day in this country take their own lives. Vets, I love you. You have a place here. You're welcome here. You fought for us. Let us fight for you by raising awareness. We back the blue. We support Leo. We support all Leo. I have made it a point these past few days to mention corrections officers and wildlife officers, because I believe in the law. I know there's corruption, it's in everything, but I back the law and I support Leo. How do I do that? Well, I don't break the damn law as much as possible. If you're an addict, never quit quitting. You're welcome here. Do a quick intro, or quick for me, and we're going to get to the woods and get outside to the stump and do all that. Today, guys, we're doing the Schrade 36, the Schrade Frontier 36. It's part of their survivalist series, and it's right here. Now, this is a bad motor scooter. It is a 1/4 inch thick. It is full tang. It's got a lanyard, lanyard hole, which you can double if you wanted to punch it right there. It is coated. One thing I'll go ahead and show you. See if you can get a better look. You see it's kind of dented up, but the coating holds. I've said many times I do not like coated blades. There is a caveat to that. If it's applied well, after being in powder coating and coatings for 9-10 years, 8-9 years, something like that, if it's applied well, it stays on, I'm good with it. When it's just crumbling off, I'm not. This stayed on pretty good. You'll see it in the testing. One thing I do want to do, well, two things real quick. I want to go over the specs, and then I'm going to show you a comparison that may get your attention a little better. Overall, it's 10 and 3/16. They may say 10 and 1/4, but it's 10 and 3/16. The blade length, total blade length is, let's just go with 5 and 1/4. Cutting is 4 3/8. It is a 1/4 inch thick. The handle material is that TPE. It's rubber, but it's pretty comfortable. You see there, I've got a bigger hand, not huge hand, but a bigger hand, and it comes in well. It's got a finger choil here that I like. Now, show you this quick comparison. Here's the BK2. One of the best all-around knives that you can get. I know the handle scales suck, but you can get some micarta ones, make some massive difference. Now, look at that. Okay, the handle on this one's a little thicker, but I'm going to show you something. If you don't think this ain't a beast of a knife, you're out your mind. Here's a comparison of the two. Both are 1/4 inch. Both, the only difference, the BK2, the width of the blade is about 1/8. It's about 1/8 longer. Now, I took the coating off of this one because the coating was falling off. I have not had good luck with coatings, be it Becker, whoever. I just put a quick patina on it. This one's been beat to death. I love this knife. It's a great starter knife. But again, you're not giving up a lot in size, maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch in length and 1/8 of an inch in width. That's it. So I wanted to show you that. I thought the BK2 was a lot bigger. It's not. Having said all of that, let's go to the woods, shall we? I'll see you out there. Well, thank you, Scab. That's mighty fine. There's a shot of me just standing there in the woods. That's always good. There you go. Now I'm pulling the knife out slowly. Cinematographic genius here. There you go. There's a good look at the knife. Yeah, sometimes I got the worst lighting in this house. And so if you don't get a good look at the blade, that's why I try to show you a bunch. Now, right here is a little bit longer segment out in the woods, but I wanted to give you a good general idea, a good general overview of the knife. Now, one thing about this knife, it's a pretty good little slicer, and what will happen is I will probably wind up at some point moving the coating. I'm trying to stare it. I thought it was going to fall there. It did not. Appreciate the hackenberry tree there making me look like an asshole. But what can you do? If it ain't that, it'll be something else. Now, one good thing about this knife, I didn't know that I was going to enjoy this knife so much. And that's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. When I bought it for the giveaway, I thought, well, I haven't owned a Schrade. Let's see what's going to happen with it. I got it here and held on to it and fell in love with it, and I really wish I'd have pulled my damn shirt down there, because that's going to irritate the piss out of me. Unfortunately, this is a longer segment, and I need it for the video, so hopefully at some point I reach back here and pull it down. I may not. You never know with old scab. Losing that kind of weight, son, just, what can you do? Now, I want y'all to bear in mind, the camera does add 50 or 60 pounds, so if you see me in person, I'm a lot smaller. Now, what would I use this knife? Will I use this knife? Absolutely. One thing I'm going to do is reprofile the blade. Well, fix the blade up. This was all out of the box. It's pretty impressive. I will say that right out of the box. It did a lot of tasks well. A lot of heavy hitting tasks. We do some batoning later on, some light chopping. I didn't go crazy on the chopping for a couple reasons. One, I about beat myself to death at work, and I just wanted to take the day and kind of heal up a little bit. Hell, getting old. Now you see it slicing pretty good there. I think what I'm going to do is slap on the work sharp, put it at 25-degree work angle, and just sharpen it up real good, oil it down real good, and I'm going to put it in probably my dry bag, because this is a knife right here. It comes with a ferro rod, it comes with a striker, it comes with a small sharpener. I think this would be perfect to put in my kayaking bag. It also, at a 1/4 inch thick, guys, is a heavy hitter. Now, I'm going to oil it up. You say, Skip, we could, because you're rust. Well, I'm not going to throw it in the damn water. It's going to be in my dry bag. And I'll oil it up real good, and when I get done with it, I'll oil it up again. This would be a good knife, and I don't get into a lot of hypothetical survival stuff. I really don't, because I've told y'all a billion times I'm not going far enough to where I would need to survive. But here's the reality. It's starting to get summertime. It's starting to get warm. If one of us, if a thunderstorm blows up, and son, that can happen in a skinny minuet in Florida, or get hit by a moccasin or something, and we needed a knife. The other thing about this knife that I really, really like is the handle. The handle scales are held on by what looks to be a Allen head, which I keep a small set of Allen tools in my dry bag as well. So if I needed to, and this will be an extreme deal now, please bear that in mind. If I needed to, I could take these handle scales off, lash it to a stick, and use it for a spear, and you got a heavy hitting, hard hitting spear. The 1/4 inch thick. A lot of times, if you've got a decent edge angle, don't have to be great, don't have to be razor hair popping sharp. It can be a decent edge bevel, and at a 1/4 inch thick, son, it'll cut and do what it needs to do on sheer weight alone. Is that optimal? No. But survival, or being in the woods, or being turned around in the woods, you're not going to have an optimal situation. Will be turned around, there's a Holiday Inn. I can take my fat ass right in there and lay down. Well, I'm getting skinnier, but I'm still kind of heavy. I go right in there and lay down, son. Now, this is an old piece. I think this is a piece of oak. They got knocked over in a storm not too long ago. So it's seasoned, it's dry. We do a couple things here. We do some chopping, we do some hacking, and we do some slicing. That finger choil on there is good for short work. And the handle, the TPE stuff, I've never, there's a difference in this rubber and the rubber, say, on a Ontario. This rubber is a little textured. It feels good in hand, but it doesn't burn you up. Now, in all fairness, I did not stand there and chop for 15 minutes with no glove on like I did with the SP53 with that kind of handle. That was just asking for trouble. But this is a comfortable handle, a big knife. You see here, and my goal here, even though it was a little older and a little aged and a little seasoned, was to kind of hack / chop my way through it, and we did that. What does that tell us? We got a decent edge bevel on there. It's a 1/4 inch, 1095, and I didn't know this till I started researching. They make 1095 knives are generally made out of a little thicker blade stock, because 1095 when it's thinner, can be brittle if it's not heat treated correctly. I think this knife and this series of knives at 1095 blade stock have been heat treated correctly. This was a tough one. I hit a lot harder than what people may think. And when we get to the batoning, I got my probably 3-inch batoning log, and I whacked the shit out of the thing. There again, there's another good look at the knife. You see the coating's holding up well. You see that choil there, and you see that it fits in my hand. And again, you don't really get it. Like, I compared it to that BK2 for a reason. Everybody knows that BK2 is a big knife. It really is. And I was stunned when I put this side by side with it. So here we're just doing some light chopping now. There in the back on the diagonal, I don't know if you can see it or not. You're going to, because I'm going to chop it. It's right behind a little tree I'm chopping now. And again, these are all hackenberries. Right here behind it, you see on the diagonal, that is a actual briar. When Rail Dog was out there with me, he was blown away because you got probably 1/2 to 3/4 inch briar out there, son, straight through it. That's not a vine. It looks like it is, but that's actually one of them thick briars, and we're out at Fort Scab Tonga Road, so that's just another layer of defense there that I have. And I'm telling y'all, this fall, if they ain't cleared the whole thing out like they're planning to with bulldozers, so shut the hell up about me chopping some small branches down. When it gets cooler, well, don't ever get cold till like December, January. If they ain't messed with it by then, we'll do a camp out at Fort Scab Tongaroga, and I'll have all my defenses up, and we'll be good to go, son. It'll be a camper's paradise out there. But again, just doing some small, light tasks with it. Now, I did all these today. I was out in the woods today. It's always good getting out there. Y'all see how it fits in hand. Now, I did these. There's something all down my shirt, son. It is what it is. Ain't no telling with old Scab. Right here, we do the Donnie B all day drop test. Now, Donnie does 4-foot drops. Mine are probably about 2 foot. I mean, I'm 5'9" on a good day, depending on what convenience store I'm leaving. Now, one thing about this knife, again, just kind of like the A-Club contoured to your hand, and it felt like it would throw pretty good. This Schrade Frontier 36, those are some pretty downward whops right there. Throwing it pretty hard. Y'all see how it bit in? It moved that stump. That stump's probably 120, 130 pounds. Virginia Red Oak, and it's a tough one, son. Donnie B all day stab test. Donnie B all day hard throw test. There we go again, another hard downward throw. Now here we're going to do a little batoning. There's my big stick I was telling you about. We got about a 1-inch hackenberry tree limb. Something's dried out, or cherry, I don't know, something that's out there around the pile. And I'm going to tell you, you say, well, Scab, you ain't hitting it hard. Well, I'll tell you what, put your hand there and let me see how hard it hits it. Right in two, knife held up well. The spine on the coating on the spine held up well. Another great shot by old Scab, just whipping the knife all around there, son, like a ninja. Now, here we go. Just some light batoning. This is an old, Lord, son, been on over there. Good God. This is an old, I think an old 2x4 that I had. Just did some light splitting with it, and I ain't hitting it hard there. Obviously, I didn't have to. But just showing some of the versatility of the knife. I think it held up well. I'm impressed with it. And I got to say again to my guy Joe from Steel Forged and Fire Sword Enthusiast, man, thank you again. What a great gift in the BPS adventure. I'll be doing that knife soon. Man, I'm just appreciative. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Great knife. Do I recommend it? Yep, I do. And I'm surprised. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did, but I do. Well, guys, listen, I love y'all. God bless y'all. My boy Mikey says it best. Everything's going to be all right. Now, this Saturday, I got an announcement about my guy Mikey. We'll cover it then. Well, I'm Scab. You're not. And I'm gone, son.